Hello, my name is Jonathan Collins, and this is my ES50 final project. It is an impact force sensor. So essentially what it does is it's not a digital weight scale, but it instead measures the impact force. If I drop this, it measures the impact force of whatever hits the platform. So what inspired me to do this project is force plates that are used in biomechanics laboratories. They essentially allow athletes to tell with how much force they are jumping or walking or running with. This is normally used for jump analysis for football players and basketball players. And I thought it would be a cool project to try and design. And that's sort of the real world application of an impact sensor. So the way it works is we have these two force sensitive resistors under the platform. The box or the platform is slightly raised so that all of the force goes into the FSRs. There are two little washers that are under this platform, and they allow all the force to go into the FSRs. So these FSRs, or force sensitive resistors, are hooked up to my Arduino Uno, and I use a voltage divider circuit in order to calculate the resistance that is coming out of the force sensitive resistors. So based on the force that is coming out of the FSRs and the constant force of these two resistors here, they're in like beige, they're both 330 ohm resistors, I can calculate the resistance of the FSR and map that to a force. So the way that works is here. So essentially, I had to linearize the force curves to calculate force. FSRs are non-linear, so they're more so logarithmic in terms of the force, graphing force with resistance. But there's no exact graph that will give a one-to-one ratio or an exact formula for force to resistance. So you essentially have to linearize it to approximate force based on resistance. And that is what this portion of code here does. So the way that it is made into a force sensor, an impact force sensor, versus just kind of like a digital weight scale or a weight scale, is that I use a thresholding mechanism. And that is here in this line of code. So you'll notice that when I have nothing on my platform, as you can see, there's no force. And also when I place a weight on my platform, there's also no force. So there's a distinct threshold for when the FSRs passes 10,000 ohms. A timed while loop turns on, which is here, and that while loop lasts for 1 second. So while the while loop is going, it measures the resistance in the FSRs at 400 hertz, and it puts all of those values into a single array. And after that, here, it calculates the max value in the array, and it displays that as the impact force. I would say that for this project, the biggest challenge was trying to linearize the force to resistance curves. It was difficult to try and map that out and know what force corresponded to what resistance approximately. But once I was able to figure that out, it was relatively straightforward. And yeah, that's my impact force sensor.